Uh, Good evening, everyone. My name is Babatunde Esanju. I'm the host for today's edition of Tech Niger FM, where we will be discussing about developing the next generation tech builders from the early stage. And today, I have with me a co-founder, CTO of Ocritical Technologies, that will be talking to us, and we're having conversation around how kids can gain more experience and can we can push them into the tech space at their early stage. What basically we don't benefit from. So he is going to be discussing. We'll be having conversation around that today, and I'm happy to have Mr. Olatunde Oladepo today on the podcast for Tech Niger FM. Mr. Oladepo Olatunde, thank you for the opportunity to come on this show this evening. It's one of
Thank
the
you for
rare
having me.
privilege for me to have you on this particular show. And I believe uh, my kids, basically, because they are also watching this, they will also benefit one or two things. And the other people that are watching us, I believe they will also gain one or two things for their kids, and also benefit as a parent as a whole. Mr. Oladipo Olatunde, please can you just give introduction about your career, your journey into tech, what you even believe the kids can at least benefit. Just give us a bit introduction about yourself, your journey, your career, and the likes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Babatunde Esonju, and thanks for having me on this great program. And I really thank you guys on what you're doing and how you are, bringing this space to people to learn more about tech. Right. My name is Oladipo Olatunde. As I said, I'm a computer engineering graduate. That was my first degree. Then the second degree, I had master's in information technology. And in terms of management, I'm a project manager and a member of Project Management Institute, where you actually modeled the introduction of myself with how I started. And how I started is a very deep question, and it's a long story that I wouldn't want to take much of your time to say everything here. But I'm going to say some key things that for the kids and other people watching us live will benefit, right? Oh, so here in Nigeria, there's a program that we normally do in 200 level, right? That program is called CWES. For you to go and gain practical experience of what you are actually doing in school, right? So I went to a school. I enrolled in a programming school. I don't want to mention the name of the school because of what I encountered. So I actually that was about 2006, 2005, 2006, right? So I enrolled, hoping to gain practical experience of practical knowledge of what they were actually teaching us in school then, right? So I paid money, but I noticed something during the training. I think it was the second week of the training that the facilitator, the mentor, the teacher is a computer science graduate, not a programmer, right? So the way he was teaching, he was still focusing on the theoretical part. And what I needed was a practical class because at least I've been doing something theoretical in the class. So I understood the fact that I cannot be in school for almost 3 years and still come back, come home to learn to be in COS, which means go and learn the practical way of what we are teaching you in school. And what I'm still learning is still the normal theory that I've learned in school. So I had to like weigh the option that if I continue like this, I'm going to waste about 3 months of my time learning the same thing that I was learning in school. So I didn't even focus on the money I paid. I had to like stop, right? I stopped going to the school, and the only option that was left for me then was to do self-learning, right? Because I discovered that some of my mates in school that are programmer actually, they were self-taught. So I had to like settle for that with the use of YouTube, Udemy, Pluralsight was what I settled for, and that was how I started learning programming. And today, this is where I am because I believe that programming is like a craft, right? It's just like you send someone to go and learn
Okay.
carpentry or bricklaying. You send someone to go and learn carpentry or bricklaying, and what you have to give the person is a big book to go and read, rather than actually carrying the nail and the hammer and and the saw. So programming is just like that. It's a practical thing. It's a craft. So that is actually my journey into programming. Self thoughts with the use of online resources like YouTube, Udemy, Pluralsight, and some small projects in school with some of my friends. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's actually a long conversation. How you gain the experience, and because actually I also finished from Lautech, and I experienced even something similar like that as well when I started the tech. And I think there are a couple of the mistakes that we believe that the kids of nowadays should not fall into. Couple of questions that I have for you today, and I believe uh, some of the audience we also have a few questions to ask you today. My first question will be, what do you think it is important, or why is it important to expose children and young people to to technology early? Because these days, if they didn't know about technology, I think they will be far behind, because a lot of things are going into tech. So why do you think it is very important for for us to expose them at this their earliest stage?
Oh, thank you. So it is very important to expose them at their early stage, and the reason is because it's not because they want to learn something new, right? So, it is very important because we live in a digital first world where technology is shaping every aspect of life, right? Everything. Like we are communicating through technology. If this platform doesn't exist, we won't be doing this, won't be having this conversation.
That's
So
true.
exposing them early means that you are exposing them to problem solving skills, you are exposing them to creativity, and you are exposing them to critical thinking. And you're also those are the things that prepare them for the future. Imagine I normally tell all the parents around me that when you expose your kids to programming very early, you are exposing them to something that will help shape their life in their even in their academic, because there's no way someone will know programming that you will now bring a problem, either math, chemistry, or something, and you will not be able to creatively solve it. So what you are building in them is you are building resilience, you are building creativity, you are building problem solving skills. So it is very important that they need to adapt early, so that they can adapt to the changes in technology, and and the competitive markets, and it will actually shape their life so that they don't be the consumer of technology, but the creator and innovator.
Thank you so much. I know that you have like platform where you are taking kids, like HTML, CSS, and the likes, just to quickly grab them into tech space. So the other question that I have is that what are the other best way for parents, schools, and community? I know few communities are already doing that, where you see tech for kids and the likes. So what are the other best way that you think parents, schools especially, can introduce tech to the kids of nowadays?
Okay, so the best way is the first one is to create interactive learning platforms, like expose them to the use of kids-friendly app, like games, and there's this application that is used. It is also an IDE, integrated development environment, but it is used for building games like Scratch and all of that, all of that. So, you know, exposing them to interactive learning environments, learning platforms. Then I I normally tell my parents, allow your kids to play games from 2 years. Give them fun. Let them break it. You are investing in them. You are allowing them to know that this, because when they play games, and there's a way we say it. Oh, I have failed. Like, they don't want to like fail at that particular stage they failed the last time. They want to improve when they play. When they play it, they want to improve at every stage. So allow them to play games, then encourage them to build small projects, like small games using Scratch or websites, or robotic games. So for community, they need to create like a tech hub where these kids can interact together, can solve problems together. So those are the things that we the parents and the school. Those are the roles they need to play. Create for schools. They need to create labs for them to go there, handle laptops, um, handle computers, give put some of those games ID on the system, let them play with it, let them interact with it. In terms of parents, they should provide guidance to them in terms of their creative activities, like monitor them. What does it like to do? When you understand that, you can look for a digital platform for doing that, and you just introduce them to that. Then for the community support, creating a tech hub where they can actually work together as a pair, and solve problems together.
Yeah, so that pairing of the thing that you mentioned now, I think it actually goes a long way, because I believe that when they have two or three people that are actually trying to learn, if one fail or they are unable to solve a particular problem, the other can basically have an understanding of how to solve it. I think is actually a long way to go in terms of that. But the other thing I'm thinking regarding the factor that can affect that kind of community engagement might be device, network, like internet, uh, gaining more access to all these type of games. If they are free, that's fine, but some of them, I'm not sure, maybe they are free because I believe they also have a way to subscribe. So I'm thinking that if some of these things can also be subsidized for the kids, it also goes a long way in terms of the community engagement. Thank you so much for that. The other question that I have, I know that you have this particular type of programs that you are organizing for the kids, but what are the challenges that you basically face? Because I know kids,
Hmm.
they are not easy to train. So what are the challenges that you basically face when training them? I just want to learn, and I want other people to also gain from your own experience.
Well, I'm just going to say that uh, generally that some of the challenges we face as a mentor or as a facilitator in training these kids is, the first one is focus, right? You know, you need to let them know that some of the challenges, let me say, in fact, I even faced one yesterday, right? Because what I
Wow.
normally do is, um, apart from the fact that I want to teach you programming, I want to mentor you, there are some basic things that I want you to do. Like when you're learning programming, I don't usually give notes because I
Okay.
believe that you are here for a practical program. But there are some times that I just want to get your attention, right? And I just, for what I want to do, the topic I want to actually discuss that day, I display it as a note. I'm talking about a kids of 8 to 12 years, for instance. So please, you need to write this note because I know that when you write notes, you are reading along. But some of them we just screenshot the page, and sometimes
Okay.
when you even as a tech person, when you screenshot before you can find out, because what computer will do is to create like a temporary name for screenshots and the date of that screenshot and all of that. So what they've been doing is just to screenshot.
Wow.
So when they screenshot and you probably solve a problem like an example for them in class, and you want them to do that, probably do a classwork or solve an assignment. They need to go back to what they wrote so that they can pick some things to solve that particular problem. You now come back to class, you see that he has not done it. When you ask, he does not know where the note is. So in terms of the first challenge we face is monitoring, right? When don't just leave your kids that okay, you've paid for programming and that is all. You need to ask them questions. Were you given any assignments? What are the challenges that you face during the class? So
Oh,
the major challenge that we have is, parents needs to monitor their kids after class, follow up and all of that. Because some of them will be in an online class like this and they will be playing games and you just
games.
be so
Yes, that's
those
true.
those 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 things the parents needs to help the mentor or the facilitator in covering that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I also do face the same thing. Even not programming, when I want to take my kids, maybe they want to do assignment and the likes. This game is something else for them. So it's not
Really?
easy. But I think um, one other thing regarding Africa sector, right? The Africa environment, let me put it that way, is that I'm not really sure that the environment for the tech kids, for the next generation of tech, uh, I'm not sure the environment is very, very conducive or they have enough uh, environment for them to play. Uh, I know that in uptown countries, yeah, they have unlimited internet. They can basically watch stuff on YouTube, learn from there. But in the Africa sector, especially in Nigeria, where data is extremely expensive, what do you think we can use to at least uh, improve the learning curve for the kids? Because after you are done teaching them, they still need to learn on their own. But if internet is a problem for them, I'm sure some of them will just don't have interest again. So what do you think we can actually do as a parent, as a community, to basically help the kids to learn more?
Well, that is not that is not actually on parents. It is actually on the government, I must say. I normally have this notion of not blaming the government for everything, but this is not a matter of probably citing blames or saying also government, but in terms of that, we need government to, help us in this by providing stable learning environments, conducive learning environments. And part of this is to have a stable electricity, to have even not, because our internet is actually good now, but it is expensive, right? I've worked with, in fact, it was even last week. I called some of the programmers that are just coming up. I think the guy is in 200 level, but he's been learning since I think 2020, I think 2022 or so, when he was still in I think SS1 or 2 or so. So
Wow.
he has been doing project with us, and I like is there's a project he's working on for a company in Canada. And these people were calling me that this guy has not committed to the repository and all of that. I was like, what is going on? I called him, said they've not had electricity in 3 days.
Wow. Wow.
People like that. So what do you want? So it still boils down on our government to, help us create a conducive environment to learn, work on our electricity, give us a subsidized internet for these people to be able to learn, because learning alone is expensive because of internet. Because
Yeah.
you have to watch YouTube, you have to, Udemy and all of that. So so these are the things that we need from the government. Even it might even take them to task the private sectors. The private sectors should bear in this cost by creating like a learning environment, a space to learn. It's a
Yeah.
part of giving back to the community. And in terms of older programmers too, you know we have our own to do, right, in terms of mentoring these people, because some people want to learn but they don't know where to start. I have seen
Yes.
someone that came to me and said, I don't want to learn anything, all I want to learn is JavaScript. I was like, JavaScript is a dynamic language. So what are the things you want to manipulate? You don't know any markup, you don't know how to start, and you want to jump into JavaScript. So, apart from the government, the other programmers have their own parts to play, and the private sectors also have their role to play in this, in helping African kids learn programming conducively. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm going to also leverage on one of the statement that you made, right? Uh, Someone came to you that they want to basically learn JavaScript, and learning JavaScript is or should not be the first thing that the person should basically know. So I want to ask, what do you think is basically the foundational skills that a young developer should focus on first? What do you think should be the
Hmm,
first
this
skills
is
that
it.
they should focus on?
Wow, thank you for raising this question. Right, it's very very important to know what the foundational skills are. Right, because we have the technical and we have the non-technical skill. Right,
Yeah. Okay.
you know, um, before you even think of learning programming, there are some things you need to learn, like computer literacy and digital basics, like understanding how computer works, file management. File management doesn't mean the abstract way. Just how do I create file? How do I delete? How do I copy from one place to another? The use of internet and basic troubleshooting, in terms of computer literacy. But another one is problem solving skill, right? Because
Okay.
before learning how to code or become a programmer, you need to first think like a programmer. You need to first think like a programmer. So and that involves breaking down a task into smaller units, like we call it algorithm, right? So you need to know how to do those things. So, before you dive into programming, you need to learn some tools like puzzles, games like Scratch and, something like that. Then programming fundamental, like I said, you need to start with beginner friendly languages like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or as a backend developer, you can pick up Python because it is written in English. Then another skill that is very, very important is research. Thank God I'm speaking to a programmer, right? Research, because you face bugs, you will
Yeah,
debug.
definitely. Yeah,
And
sure.
that bug that you faced, you are not the first person. Millions of people in the world have faced it. All you just need to research, use Google, you know, gone like this where we when we use Stack Overflow. Like you
Yes.
debug for weeks. You start reading a lot of
Articles,
but now
articles
you
and
have
the
AI that
likes.
will quickly revamp the code for you. So you need to know how to research.
Yeah.
Then basic math and logic, mathematics is very important in the life of anybody.
Mm,
Either you are a commercial student, art student, or science student. Math is
yeah.
very, very important because especially it is even important for fields like AI, game development, and data science. So those are the skills.
Mm,
So the technical skills are computer literacy, problem solving, and logical thinking. Then programming fundamental. For non-technical skill, you have the research skills and basic math and logic. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all this explanation and this conversation. It has been a good one today. I still have like one question more. So my final question will basically looking ahead, particularly for you, what excites you most about the future of these young people in tech with the help of AIs and the
Hmm.
likes? What excites you?
Wow. So it is the opportunity that is
Okay.
uh in the game, the opportunity that you have as an
Okay.
African person, because with an internet and a laptop, you can work with someone in US, in Canada, anywhere in the world. So it is the great opportunity that you get in in this particular career. Then what
Okay.
excites me, let me personally, and that is one of the reasons that I learned programming. Uh, the fear of being wretched and the uh, that's fulfillment that I get in helping people solve problems. So those are the things that excite me in this particular journey.
Yeah, so solving problem is even the biggest thing, biggest takeaway uh in becoming for me in also becoming a software engineer in this journey because you can basically see a problem, uh worked on it, solve it, and you'll be happy. Uh, and when you face bug uh, for 2 days, you keep on debugging, and after a while, you're able to get it. You also be fulfilled. So I think it's actually a long way for the young kids not to give up because giving up in programming is like 80%. I know when I started, I know a lot of people that started the journey with me, but most of them are not into programming again because it's not an easy task. But I think leveraging on AI, Copilot, and the likes nowadays um, will basically help the young generation. But don't just leverage on AI, know the deep things that what you can basically understand from the AI, not just copying code from AI and just paste it. Know what the code is actually doing. I think that's some of the biggest takeaway as well. So I know that you do mentor some young kids. Should in case people want to make you a mentor, I believe you'll be open to that. Uh, Maybe you can just tell our audience your name once again, where they can basically follow you. They can, I believe, they can chat you up on your professional media, like LinkedIn, where they can reach out to you to be a mentor and the likes. Just tell our audience one more time your name, uh, where they can basically follow you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Well, so before I just give the my platforms, so I'll just give the one of the reasons why I like mentoring people, right?
Okay.
I normally use this ideology, right? That kindness is like a baton in a race, right?
Mm.
When you don't pass it on during the race, when you don't pass it to the next person, the whole of the team will fail. And that is why I dive into mentorship and training people into programming. There's some software that because of my uh, profile in the society, there's some software that I'm supposed to build with 5 to 10 million that is just an assignment for these kids, and it is solved. Right? I did a project for Unilever Ghana, and it was an assignment for my kids. And the best one was the one I just deployed to the client, no modification. The reason why I'm saying this is, you know, we need to look beyond yourself,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
if you don't pass that knowledge to the next person, to the, to those people, you're still going to be you will still you will still you cannot still keep you can't keep on in the field forever, because these people
Yeah.
will research more than you because of their energy
Yes.
and all of that. Okay, so my name is Oladipo Olatunde on LinkedIn. I think basically I'm on LinkedIn because I don't do social media. That's so I'm on LinkedIn. You can basically search for Oladipo Olatunde. Thank you.
Thank you so much. One last advice to give to the young generation. I think you have at least one last advice before we round up for today edition on Tech Niger FM.
Okay, so for the people watching me that wants to dive into programming, when you stay start where you are, stay consistent and keep building, because one small idea today could grow into the next big global innovation tomorrow. So the bulk of it is start small, stay consistent, and keep building, even when it feels hard. Thank you.
Thank you so much for today. I remain your host on Tech Niger FM. My name is Babatunde Yesunju. I'm also a senior software engineer. Uh, Thank you. I believe you've gained one or two experience from this conversation today. Like I always do say, keep innovating, keep learning. Learning is endless. Keep learning, keep innovating, and we believe that in the next few months you will be great, and we basically see your work all over the world. Thank you so much for today.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate you for joining.
Thanks for
Bye for
having me.
now.